Hello, Renee Flamand here. You know what I find funny? I find it funny that the math of what we're doing does not add up. We have a list of cons a mile long, why we don't want this person anymore. Yet why are we upset that they're with New Supply? You have it written down. You don't want him, right? You don't want him, her. You know you don't. Yet we get so heartbroken, right? That's the trauma bond, the cognitive dissonance. We get broken. We can't understand on earth how we're going to get through without this person. We all go through that phase where it's very desperate, where the first break starts to happen. When your narcissist is no longer in your life and they have moved on to somebody else, told you I'll always share something when I think of something that helps me. The thing is, if they are with somebody else, the entire list of cons that you have, they go with the narcissist wherever he or she goes. They didn't do this list to you. They're telling the New Supply they only did this list to you, and maybe every other person in the world, but with you it'll be different. Right? But if they have all of this wrong with them, it's not your loss of the narcissist and the supply's gain. Isn't it reversed? Isn't it your gain and their loss if they end up with that narcissist for a little while? I'd say that it's a loss for them. I'd say it was a win for you to get rid of the person. Did you want to win that prize? Yet we look at it and we think, he left me for her. He chose her over me. She went to him despite everything I did for her. They choose them over us. We're rejected. We feel we lost. And we're at a loss, and they gained him. They get him. They have him. Are you out of your mind? Shift that perspective right now. And let me explain. You know I'm gonna. No. Think of them now as all of the lists, right? Which is their problems. They are now somebody else's problem. Not only that, because that sentence is too simple. Not just they are now somebody else's problem. Their list of problems will now be very present in whatever relationship they have. So somebody else is going through it and you're thinking, oh, but they look happy, and oh, he landed with her and I knew he'd take off with her. You think that these problems didn't go with him? He's suddenly cured? You thought he was suddenly cured. Okay, you thought he was suddenly cured. So the next one after you was all that and a bucket chicken? Okay? Yeah, no. I don't care if she was Angelina Jolie mixed with Liz Taylor mixed with Sandra Bullock, okay? I don't care how perfect and wonderful she is. The same list of problems will happen. The same list of problems will happen. They aren't someone you lost. They are someone who has transferred their dysfunction on to someone else. How wonderful for you. I visualize the antics of my narcissist, and I really feel for whoever he's putting whatever on. Whether he's on New Supply, New Supply, 3 News, I don't know what he's doing, but I know it's not ever going to be proper. Things come my way, things leak, the world's not as big as I thought. It's a mess. And I get elated for me whenever I sense a messiness because it's not my mess. It's not in my life. I have nothing to do with it. Thank God I'm not in that anymore. Thank God that that's not around me anymore. Thank God he's gone. I feel so bad for her. Oh my God, I'm sure he's doing the same thing. She must be crushed. I mean, let them be that leech to someone else. And I don't want them to ever have anyone else. That's why I want this to be shouted from some platform where people will finally understand. Let them be that leech to someone else, though. You know that it's not something you want when you look at the package. When you look at them as a package, there's really, the cons are so heavy. There's never going to be more pros. Oh, but the way you made me feel, I just can't explain it. Snap out of it. That's a romance novel. But no, you don't understand soulmates. Da, da, da. I understand. I do. That's how they make you feel. That's what they do. They do that. That's calculated to make you feel that way. It is. And you know that. And you know, in the feelings that I get for the new person, for someone else, even if you detest them, they don't know any better. Just like we didn't know any better. The narcissist is off playing house happily a la the Cleavers with whatever anchor he's trying to procure. Right? They play around in the world, but whatever anchor they're trying to procure, they're going to really lay it on thick and play house and try to secure themselves a nice, cozy spot. And then they're going to continue to devalue that person. And the thing is, he will always be doing the same things he did to you. Always. They don't suddenly change. And it's not a cheater once a cheater, always a cheater. Well, that phrase probably came from the narcissist. It's not that they're always a cheater. They can't ever put the feelings of the other person in their minds enough to stop themselves from doing something that may hurt somebody else. Or maybe I shouldn't sleep with this person. Maybe I shouldn't sleep with, my wife's cousin. Maybe I shouldn't sleep with, you know what I mean? They don't do that. They want, they take. They want it, they want it. It's like a little baby with a toy. They're going to get and take what they want. And if they didn't approach the person and they are approached, they're very likely to say yes. Even if they feign no for a millisecond. They can be convinced. But he's living the same way he was with you. And when he was with you and then the new supply and now they're suffering, you can say to yourself, but he married her. Yeah. So would you have wanted to marry this person? You know what I think when I see that? I think, so he's still duping her. He duped her enough to say yes to marry him. I still don't, they didn't change. I don't care what you tell me. I don't care. I don't care if they have twin boys and they look happy as the best Christmas card on the entire planet. They're a narcissist. And they took their problems with them. So they've created a cover. This is their cover. They have a wife, happy home, twin boys maybe, but then they're going to be out in the world doing their thing every chance they get. So is that who you wanted to marry? Did she land somewhere that you wanted? That you think that it's your loss and her gain? Or is it your gain and her loss? Her marrying the narcissist is your win. Your win. Doesn't guarantee he'll stay out of your life because they say that they will reach out forever. But man, it certainly does tie him up for a while to be out of your hair. It's a win for you. Flip that around. Flip that a bloody round. Do not think of that as your loss either. Would you have wanted to? Well, when he was not, nope, whole package, the way he is. I know your answer better be no. So then let her have him, yet we get so upset. It's weird, right? I know. I don't know. It's because it's ego, it's rejection. It feels like rejection, but I told you before, it's not. It's the universe ejecting them from you because you couldn't do it yourself. And they won't walk away. They'll string and play along as long as you'll let them. Even with the dysfunction and the fighting, they get a charge out of that too. So as long as you keep letting them, they'll go and go and go and keep you in their life as well as new supply. They'll take problems to the new supply. They'll keep some for you. They're getting supply met everywhere. Everywhere. you know, is it a good idea for her to have married him or him to have married her? Is it a good idea for the narcissist to even try to be married and sell that? But the most important thing is, do you want to be in their place? Some of you were indeed married to your narcissist, but that next person that they get to stay with them, it bothers us so much. And I just started to think about, but why? It doesn't make any mathematical sense to me that it bothers us. I mean, really, why? We know all the things wrong with them. We should be elated if it finally ends. Of course we're not. There's plenty of you heartbroken right now experiencing that as we speak. And I'm not making light of that. Oh, no, 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 I am not. What I am trying to say is, I don't want anybody getting too caught up in feeling like this was a loss for them. And I want you to remind yourself that it is a gain. I think if you lose things that are negative, that's a negative, right? So that equals a positive. You're losing bad things, bad things are a negative, and they're leaving your life, that's a negative. They're being depleted from your life. So then that should leave you feeling weightless, positive, overflowing with hope, a new sense of energy, a feeling of weightlessness. What just unburdened me? I felt so heavy a minute ago. Now they left me. Oh, all their problems left too? You mean I don't have to deal with any of that anymore? Really? Okay, wow, life, you won't even know what's going to hit you. Your time is going to be to yourself. No fighting. No waking you up in the middle of the night to fight with you just 'cause. Let her have it. Or him have her. Like, let them. The list of problems that they have goes with them. It wasn't you, the mixture of you and that person, that made these problems appear. They had all the same problems that you have with your narcissist. They've had before you with other people. They will have after you with other people. As much as they want to get involved with someone, it could get as dramatic as they feel like getting. They could come in and out of your life, or they can try to make you a permanent person. It depends on what you feed them when they meet you. What tier you'll end up being filed as. That's not. But I mean, come on. We have to rethink, we have to rethink, we have to rethink. And the thing is, too, let's just think about the torment they put you for just a minute. The torment, the anguish that you felt on a daily basis. Something daily went awry. The littlest thing can set you off for the whole day. That is all behind you now. And it is all with someone else now. All the wonderful feeling of leaving behind all that bitterness, allow that to wash over you. And I'm not saying, Schadenfreude, he, the problems went with him, take that, new supply. If you're bitter and, people steal people right out from under your nose, I understand that. You're bitter, whatever, that's fine. But it's not about Schadenfreude, which is, but she is getting these problems. Don't kid yourself about that. They absolutely go with the narcissist. And the thing is, enjoy the fact that it's not with you anymore. And shift your perspective and start to think of it like you gained something. You gained something. There's an entire hole in your life now that you can fill with something positive. And the rest of your life might be very positive. It was just this one little slice that was off kilter. Well, now it's gone. Just because it's an empty doesn't mean it's not good. You don't have to have a partner. The rest of your life can be great. Now that bad slice is gone. You can fill that piece up with positive. Imagine you'll be unstoppable. I'm not kidding. That negative is gone. How can that be your loss? When you can now put something positive in its place. That's a game. That's a game. I want you to flip your brain around and start thinking of that perspective differently. I'm telling you what, whether they ejected you, discarded you, rejected you, whatever you think or want to call it, and whatever it was absolutely done in your favor. This is a good thing. This is a good thing. And I think that if you flip that around, the first time it's going to feel weird. You're going to go, good thing, I'm crying over here. I'm hysterical. I've listened to this love song 15 times in a row. I can't even get out of bed. Okay, then you ask yourself, okay, so why? I can't explain it, just the way he makes me feel. I always go to that because that's essentially what keeps us. It's an inexplicable thing we think we had with them. They had this it factor for us. They're going to be, I'll never feel like that again. I'm not here to tell you whether or not you ever will, but I am here to tell you when that feeling was manipulated and based on a false persona, do you want it anyway? Yes, I do, Renee. I just want, well, they can't keep that up for their whole life. So maybe they left you because they couldn't even do that side anymore. They were over it. You saw the bad side of them. Things came to a head. They left. Things were said. And they just, maybe they wouldn't even be able to reproduce that side of themselves again. Think about what you're crying over. Think about what you're missing. And I know, because I was a mess for a long time. Pretty much a lot of last year. It lingered. It did linger. And I know how you feel. But I just started to realize this when I think about his new, person that he's courting. And I think, oh, and there's been I know that things have already gone awry with, well, they did because he kept coming here. They went awry on that girl a long time ago. Yet she's hanging in there. She's hanging in there. Because she thinks with her it's different. And he's made her feel confident in her position with him. Sound familiar? You see when you see. Nobody can tell you anything. And what looks black and white to me clear now about him, I kept company with that same person for a long time. But when you're out of it and you look in and you think, oh my God, that poor girl, that is definitely something I see as my gain and her loss. I'm just saying. Please go ahead and hit subscribe, like, and share if you like this. And I thank you for watching. We're having a blast still, 2022. And if you know somebody going through something like this, send this to them. Send a link. It might just trigger something and make them be aware. We're out for the awareness. We want everyone to know.